First of all, welcome back to the Alexander Palace, a fantastic venue. Since we moved to the Wembley Arena, what's your thoughts on the Alexander Palace? Because you like it here, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's a better venue. Wembley Arena, don't get me wrong, I won 2 times there, and great venue as well. But I thought it was probably a little bit too big, so a lot of the atmosphere seemed to have got lost. Where the Alexander Palace, it's a lot more compact. And yeah, I prefer it here, I think.
Yeah, good crowds as well, you know, great crowds, and they've increased the capacity as well, which brings the whole arena into a sort of like an amphitheatre almost, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Like you say, they've increased it, I think, by an extra 500 seats. And as you say, you walk out there, every match you feel as though you're playing a final with the one table set up. And yeah, the atmosphere is great. It's like walking out into a lion's den a little bit.
What about your own form? Up to now, a couple of semi-finals, not what you'd expect from, you know, world #1, a man who's won the triumvirate, you know, the Masters, the UK and the World Championship. How about your own form coming into this event?
Yeah, I mean, even though I've not won anything this year, which has been a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, the standard's high. You can't just, nobody's got a divine right to win anything, but it's not as if I've been playing drastically bad. I mean, I lost to John Higgins in the semi-finals out in China. He played great. Lost to Neil in the UK, which on present form is probably the best player on the tour at the moment. So I'm not too disappointed, but it'd be nice to turn one of them semi-finals into a win.
Now, of course, your opponent, Ronnie O'Sullivan, a man who you played, you know, many times over the years, who has called you a torturer. I don't know what did you think about that when he sort of come up with that name for you? You know?
Well, I think it's just how he seen me. I mean, in past matches when I've played him, I've not played fantastic and sort of like probably doubted myself a little bit and slowed my game down. And Ronnie playing the way he does, he plays really quick and is such a natural player. And I'm far from natural, I think. I mean, but no, I always enjoy the challenge every time I play Ronnie, and I'll do exactly the same this time.
Yeah, but you've had a great record against him here. I mean, I remember that wonderful final when you were 9-6 down and you came back to beat him, and that really hurt him, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some great matches. I mean, he beat me a couple of years ago here and played fantastic, won 10-4. Even the year when I did beat him was a great final, but a year before that he beat me 10-8, and I played well in that as well, probably as good as I can play and come out on the losing side. But every match I've played against him I've enjoyed, and it's always seemed to be a good game.
Yeah. What about playing O'Sullivan here though? It's different, isn't it? Playing him in London and the Ali Pali in front of his home patch, you know, that 99% of the crowd are going to be against you, apart from your family that you bring down. Like,
yeah,
know,
that's
so
right.
It's tough, isn't it?
I think it was when I played him the year I beat him 10-9.
Yeah.
The atmosphere walking down the stairs at night was probably some of the best I've experienced, apart from the World Championships, I suppose. But I think I still remember I was 9-6 down and he was playing well, and a couple of people in the crowd, as you say, probably 95% are cheering for Ronnie. Some of them were shouting out "taxi for Selby," I think, at 9-6, and I managed to claw my way back, and then a few, probably 10 of the people in the crowd who were supporting for me was shouting "taxi for O'Sullivan," so it was quite good banter.
Yeah, fantastic. How about your own life away now from the table, your family? You've got a little girl, Sophia, as well. Has that sort of changed you? Has it sort of calmed you down, or it gave you a little bit of perspective, a little bit more drive as regards to snooker?
Yeah, it has in a way, because off the table over the years I've had quite a tough upbringing with my father passing away when I was really young, and just a lot of things off the table which has not really been happy with. But then getting with Vicky obviously was a great thing, and she's a great person, and also having Sophia now, which sort of gives me a different sight into snooker, where before I was sort of playing as if it was life or death, and if I didn't win I was sort of beating myself up a little bit, where now you go back home, you walk through the front door and she comes running up to you saying "Daddy" and stuff. It sort of makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, and it's nice when you go back to that atmosphere away from like the travelling and stuff like that, that you can sort of just relax and just be yourself and forget about, you know, the snooker circuit for a while.
Yeah, that's right, and like you say, I mean, family comes first. It should come first in anything. I mean, snooker, I've done well in my career and still enjoying it as much now as what I did do before, but if anything it gives me more of a motivation to try and do better now, to try and give Sophia a better life as well.
Yeah, and what about if you get to the final here, should you get through to O'Sullivan, are we likely to see Sophia and Vicky maybe down at the...
Yeah, I think Sophia will come. I sort of had that in the back of my mind when I was playing Neil in the semi-finals in Europe, because if I'd have won that, then they'd have all come up and Sophia would have been there. But with a tournament as big as what it is, still first round, still early doors, I don't think it's the right decision to bring her that early on and put too much pressure on yourself. But fingers crossed I can keep winning, and we may see her at the end of the week. Yeah,
your record here is very impressive. You know, 5 finals, you've won it 3 times. It's almost like a second home to you now, isn't it?
Yeah, as you say, fantastic record. Can't complain with that I think a lot of it is because it is a one-table setup. You seem to get zoned in a lot more, as I say. Every time I go out there, my focus is just on the match. Nothing else matters because there's no other tables going on around you to try and distract you. Yeah. So it's all just tunnel vision on that one game.
Yeah, one question that I didn't really want to ask you, but I know you want to talk about, is about your team as well. They're above our team in the league. Leicester City, they're doing so well. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, considering, I mean, how they finished last year, they've more or less started this season the way they finished. I mean, 11 games to go last year, 9 points behind, looked like dead and buried, turned it around, stayed in the league, and then Claudio Ranieri's done a fantastic job. I mean, I think a lot of the credit has to go to Nigel Pearson as well, because the team we've got now is probably very similar to what Nigel left. It's just that Claudio's just changed a few things, but yeah, we're playing great, playing some good attacking football, and as you say, probably the first time we've been above your team ever, I think.
And certainly I hope for just for this season alone, but wouldn't that be nice, the Masters Trophy, taking it out and Leicester in front of the Leicester City fans?
It would be, yeah. I mean, one of my fantastic feelings so far is winning the World Championships and parading it at the ground. The first game of the Premier League last season against Everton was a fantastic feeling, and if I can do that with the Masters as well as probably finishing top 4 at the end of the season, would be a great feeling.
It would be fantastic. Well, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All the best.
Yeah,